procrastinate. Try to work. I have been procrastinating for a while now because I'm still not fucking sure what to do. I mean, not sure 100%. I have a plan, but I kind of don't want to do it. So I need to stop being a child and start. Not this one. Always confused. So I made a clone for before I streamed the thing, and if I screwed up very badly, is the camera on? Is the videos on? Let me check both because one of the times, actually twice, I didn't record any video. One of the time it says I'm offline. Oh, okay. Now I'm live. Let me find any kind of excuses. Stop working at the house, including cleaning my glasses or scratch my head. So what we are going to do is make an. I'm still worried that really not fun, but the name seems worrisome. Actually, let me add an I. No, and yes, change the name, change, and make it into public. Extension to the case, even the free. So what's the interface have? Completely stuck. Huh? Let's forget about this. The camera on. The microphone is on too. So the control manager should know all the mother suckers, or how some of the YouTubers I watch say mofo. It's kind of funny to say mofo. I mean, motherfucker seems insulting, but mofo is like funny. I don't know. That's how they sound. I shouldn't use either. But anyway. So this mofo should know about all the guys who have the control or can be controllable in this game. So why shouldn't I add it to the game file? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can put it in the game file actually. But usually the things in the game file are more like a blueprint, not the actual objects. And this guy is a different story, because this guy should hold a profile for each one of these objects. What's the difference between the general control for the whole game and a special control profile? Depends on the. What's the difference? I don't know. Excuse me. In other words, this guy doesn't know about the keys. That's actually the final result in my. Um, what I'm going to try to do is to make the profiles as a medium between the two. So the key will result in an action or a request for an action, and the request for the action will generate an action. So this guy should take a request. Why do I have here? Hell is going on. Oh, I was thinking to make the update call this function instead of. This is the first fucking design. Yeah, this is the old design. Let me close the other class. So who come first? Who should I design first? Using it seems like the whole system required to be made together. This I'm playing with my finger. That sounds. I have some extra skin going near my one of my. So annoying. I know if I cut it in a different, if I pull it out, it will cause world of pain. Trying to cut it, or there's that. Or maybe I'll just pull it as usual. Cause the world of pain. Yes, yes, yes. Focus on. Should you? I mean, are you a programmer or a finger puller? That sounds. Yeah. Let's focus on. So this guy, this part should be the part that's hard coded for each game, and it should be different for each game, and that's why it shouldn't be in the game file. Maybe I need 2 layers. Yeah, totally confused, totally suck, totally suck. And I have been like this for more than a week. No worries. I don't know why. I just can't think. I can't think Stark. I tried and I cannot work and I don't want to work. Now I want to work because I was forcing myself the whole day. But I cannot think. Just cannot force my mind to think. Sometimes, whenever I do that, I feel like, why did I choose? Why did I choose? But no, I'm not asking that in a regrettable way. I'm asking that in a philosophy way. If I'm really suck at these kinds of problems, why do I want to be a programmer? So a request for an action, there are many of them. And only one, no, they go many to many to controllable. So the problem with this thing, if I take the controllable as a key, is we cannot check easily which request goes to who. Unless if we target this guy in a parameter. Because this guy will take a request from the profile. So the profile will take a key and detect if this key is the right way to do it, to make a fireball or to walk or to jump, then it will fire a request. And so in firing of the request, we should know the target too. But this guy check the targets that the controller have too. Because the controller can have more than one target. He might controlling the interface, he might targeting whatever. So this guy should be aware of the controller, and he can be aware of that because he live actually on the controller, right? 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 Yeah. But this is not enough. We need to send it in a parameter too. If it was a private class, then it can see the object inside. But it is not a private class. So I don't know if this is the best way to do that. But let's leave profile. Let's leave a controller pointer. So now the controller, whenever it started, it should call why do I have a Who's holding the color array? Anyhow, I wonder if this will work. If it doesn't work, I will make an initial. So now this guy can see the owner, and if the key exists, after it's make all kinds of checks, it should call a function from the control manager, send the owner and the action request. And of course, it's a controller manager static function. Something like this. But the owner alone is not enough. We need to know the targets, the possible targets. So if it is an interface, we should target that interface. If it is a fire bullet that the user can control, like the red missile in my Castle 2 game, or a character, then we should target that object instead. So instead of sending the owner, we send a controller from the owner somehow. Depends on the for each in here. And I might separate this to make it more general, to make it make it in a different function, and depends if it's a keyboard key or a mouse drag or a joystick. So this will be managed later. So that guy sent a request by sending the request itself and the controllable. So we need to make a static dictionary with all the controllable and the request. I don't know based on what should I make a new objects for the request? If I'm going to make a new set of requests, then they better to be string. And of course with a smaller letter. And the string should be coming from an enumerator or something. Um, Maybe a string list, a fixed string list, unfortunately. Or should I make it fixed? Should I take it from the common source? And stuff like these, it's better not to be vague. So you can check if there's something wrong immediately. So we can make public static dictionary, not dictionary, string or list. Oh, come on. Um, well, I can always convert it into an array, but I don't know to list. You are killing me. So this thing is just to make sure I'm not screwing myself up. It's not necessary. It's just to check that I don't have a jump with the capital letter and jump with the small letter. So let me add some examples. Because we are doing a scholar game, we don't have I don't think I can fire command from menu save, but and I'm not sure how am I going to program this thing for the main menu in here. I need to connect it with the dialogue system. It's better to be, and instead of making this thing fooling around alone for the main menu, I need to figure out how to make it easier on me by using the my dialogue system. So let's just I don't know if I need to put every freaking thing in. I might not. As I said, I might leave the menu to the menu system, to my dialogue system. So I might save all of these keywords to work in there some. But this guy is the guy who's responsible on the control. And I wonder if I should make it into couple to um, check them quicker. Apparently, if you use a single word tuple, it's much faster than um, um, a linear search. But you know, I don't have a lot of keywords. So what's next? Actually, I believe it's a void. And let's use this quest. And that's why I was putting my head down and look at that. All the work is just like, and nothing have a strong infrastructure. It seems a mess. It seems a chaos, and I don't like work. I don't like to work like. I just noticed that the eye controllable have actually I could do the whole mess, the action condition, but there will be a lot of keywords in there. And instead of jump, then it will become jump and on a solid ground, and there is a space above the head. So now this is the ugly part. You remember when I said in other games they put all the control in here, check all the keys like that? Well, it's almost the same thing. All of them in here. So, and instead of doing this, we can generate a controllable action request function in the uncontrollable object. So let's try to work on there instead and move the responsibilities on each function on each object. So fire should be later on we will work on fire. I don't know if this will work. What if I do this? Do this. Will it accept the car? I forgot how to implement. Oh, we have actually problem with the constructor. Yes? Should I say implement? Anyhow, this will change. Like, need to. Let's move to another. Um. Now this is a little bit interesting. This is a very weird. I mean, if I really wanna have no subscribers at all and no viewers, I should add this episode or this take. Will guarantee the the guy that you control is actually the job object or the prototype. He's the one who has the attribute. He's the one who has the map and everything. I should call it prototype. I can see this class is this object in two ways. Not just object. It's the prototype. In other words, the units that you control. Like in Command and Conquer, the Mammoth, the artillery, even the tanks. I mean the turrets and everything, even the buildings. But they are not the blueprint. So this is the guy that you control, but the control should be the same for all the units. If I play in a fighting game like in Tekken with Jim Kazama, someone else play with Jim Kazama, they shouldn't have different moves. All the data should be saved in the blueprint, which is the animated particle. So the data of the animated particle should be in here for the control. But the controllable object is that one, not this one. I never faced a problem like this before. Sometimes I love myself too much that I wanna kill it. It in a very bad way. So this guy should be the I. But the data of the I controllable should be loaded from me. uh, there is a way. There is a way. Kind of weird, but there's a way. To consider both of them as I controllable, but the system only use that one, and when it requests the data from that one, it take it from this one. So let me see how can I do that. Let's see how can I do that. Actually, the control manager stuff is the same as the action control. They go hand to hand, actually. So let me see. What can I do? No. Uh, what I was going to do? uh, um, yeah, I was going to do. I was going to give it the. All right, all right. Let's just do whatever. This one will be the universal request. All requests possible. And this might be generated. This might be generated. It won't be. This is the test for the system. So I'm putting some of the data from my ass. They will come from the game file later. But for now, this is a test. As I said last time I worked 2 days ago, that was the test of the test. This is the test for the real thing. So this is not the real thing yet, but just so we are going to give string the problem with this system is hyper. And this is kind of scary. And kind of confusing too. Now, how can I give, depends on the animated particle. You remember in Java, I don't know if you attended a school, a college, and when you create an object in Java, anonymous, and you give it an overload function immediately on the declaration, you just overload a function from the declaration step. It was crazy, but I'm sure C Sharp supports such a thing. C Sharp have a lot of implementations. So what we are going to do, I really hate this. Maybe I can trick the system controllable and spare that guy from the controllable, even though this is the guy that you can, and it should have a pointer to which AP it's present. For now, focus on the So the return is the real action that the action condition accepts. Let me use the same name so somehow you can tell this is related. I never in my life used not implemented exception. What? Oh, sorry. Oh no. I never use this fucker. So let me Google. MSDN in when it came out, it wasn't that. It was a little bit vague. Some of the pages, but now it's much better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I forgot the. Uh, I don't know if that will crash the the game. It's called it. This is fucking. So let's make this an honorary I controllable. Unless, as I said, um, yeah, to be honest, this one should be I controllable. So, give me a little bit. So, dun dun dun. Um, yeah. I need to figure out how can I point this to this because this is going to come from save file and I'm not going to show you the save file in. Need a request key. So this one, the fudge I'm doing, this one. This changed a lot of the things in the game. Ignore half what I say. Using a half-assed it's the best way to say half-assed metaphors and stop in the middle of the sentence because it's expressed the whole feeling. Um, like this. Uh, oh, give me a fucking break. So if I say this one doesn't exist, then will cry on my. And now later on, I can go to the menu, and this is kind of exciting and at the same time scary. And go to the menu components, make them uncontrollable. So these things should return an action if the request is correct. But that doesn't make a lot of sense because the GUI doesn't have action condition object. We need to go around that and make the controllable used for both action condition and different things. So we will see about that. Um, Now let's go to the animated particle. Let's take a look at. So here is the request or the real action. This is the result of to go back and know how to. I started working on the engine a year ago, so I don't implement a very complicated system and hide everything. I mean, to hide all the complexity and easy to use system. And look at me. Look at results. But there is no way to go back, unfortunately. Now I can tell why some programs are really hard to use. Just you will reach to a level that if you keep pushing the difficulty or the complex calculation behind, and you group them in a very small corner, it will result like this at the end. Anyway, let's focus on here. This is the longest hour in my life. Not really. Let's focus in here. Because I'm not sure if this is really the action. No, no, no. This is the key of the action result. The active action. Damn it. Oh, sorry. This is the action. The thing that I want to send called active action. Sorry. And the string is the action condition. This system is not required for a very simple game. but it can generate almost any a game I can think about. It can generate a lot of things. But for now, it doesn't. It cannot show its power because it's kind of meaningless. So the action condition is the final result, like walking and firing in the same time. The active action is only one action request, but actually, this is the accepted action request. It can only be sent when the control manager or the controllable functions check if the conditions are true. So we should have a function in here that take a list of actions. I believe the four functions. And this, what? I didn't make that function. All of these are for integrity only. All of that work, and I don't need a job plan. Get out of here. So we have the action condition. Are the list of the. So I need to send a list of action. I cannot send just one action at a time. But what am I doing now is returning one string at a time. Another problem that I know. Let me go to turn only one deposit. Control one control at a time. Using, but they should fire at the same time. You see, this is a little bit more than what I can handle. Second, I never thought about that before. Oh, come. Yeah, figured that was because this guy generate the object. How can I? Oh no, let's forget about him. You see, when I click on right, the control manager will take right and check if the object can use the right command. I mean the right control, and will send it to the. First of all, it will check the profile. If the right key is the right. Let's take the down key for an example. If down key, if I click down, it will check first the down arrow key is the right key for going down action. Because maybe the user want to use S to go down instead of down arrow, or maybe both, and if it is both, it will be accepted. Then he will send it to the control manager, which will send it back again, which is kind of funny, to the AP or to whatever controllable function, and check. Yeah, I might to delete this middle or intermediate step and make the controllable objects deal with these actions instead. But first of all, let me continue the example. It will compare these for actions based on the action condition objects. The action condition objects have a list of actions. So if you go down and fire, is different than going down. And this is the issue. If I click down and S, it will send two different requests, down and S, to the control manager or to the controllable object. So he will receive only one at a time, and we need to check the list. So apparently, I need to connect this with the timer or with the update function, and this is way more complicated than what I thought. And check if he can do that action. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a list that collect these requests and delete them every time. So if you receive down an S in a very small period of time, he will consider them as a collection of action at the same time. If you click down and then released it, and after 2 seconds or 1 second clicked S, it won't consider it as one combo. So I need to look for a very good function for deleting and adding, but not loading and reloading or saving. What am I saying? Not in searching or moving around. It's good on adding a lot and removing a lot, because we are going to do that all the time while we are playing. It will add and remove, add and remove, add and remove to see the user inputs. Better to keep these lists inside the controller and instead of distribute them everywhere, because the controller have only one set of inputs. So I need to shift some of the stuff to the controller somehow. This is confusing. The commands and the responsibilities start to spread everywhere, and I'm not sure where should I focus them. But this list of inputs for the active actions definitely should live in the controller class, because each controller have a set of control that he can input at a certain time. I don't want to distribute them in a controllable object. So there's a lot of things to consider. So my fear wasn't random. This is the first time, or yesterday too, that I see the CPU has some kind of fluctuation. It was always never use anything, and I don't know if this is a good thing or. But thank you for watching this annoying chapter of my life, and hopefully I will finish this as the rest of the. Thanks for the complexity of the action. This system is the completion for the action condition. That's why it's a good amount of headache. So, see you in chapter of misery.